Hello. Hello, hello. Good evening, good evening. Good evening, everyone. How are we today? Hello, hello. Thank you, Traven, for joining. Hello, how was your day? How are you doing? Hello, Moments with Lady R. How are we doing today? Just gonna give you a few more minutes and allow more people to join in. How's our day been today? I hope very good. It's been a minute since we've been here. Apologies, it's been a hectic number of weeks, but we are grateful to God we're here and we soldier on. We carry on. God is good. Hello, 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 welcome. Thank you for joining. Just awesome. Good to know you're doing fine. I just waiting on more people to join, hopefully, and then we can get started. Probably just give it like a minute again, 1 more minute, and we can get started. We can get started. It's been a minute. It's been very hectic. Yeah, it's lovely to be back and full Lola Day. Thanks for joining. I see the doctor has joined in. Hi, welcome. Everyone who's joining, I appreciate you for joining us today. Today we're talking about fibroids and lifestyle. Next month, actually, we're going to be doing a lot more talking about fibroids and actually bringing on some great people, who got great testimonial on the fibroid journeys and all of those, because next month is awareness for fibroids. But today I just wanted to get us started, with the background and just talk. And then we have a hub of about 115 or more women and the men who support them. And there's been a few questions that some people wanted to ask the doctor, because we had this event in May. It was for young people actually, but older people were on there. Actually, they just took over that. But yeah, so I'm trying to see if I can add the doctor. Bear with me. Jump into the topic of the day and begin to ask Dr. Omar some of the questions that our ladies in our hub have asked. I just wanted
I have to put the video off because I'm not allowed while I'm
driving.
I'm driving. Yes.
We
So
have Miss
can you
Omar
put it
always.
off for me? Am I able to put it off? I don't know.
You should be able to
Yeah,
put it
that's
off.
fine.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, yeah. That's
Well,
okay.
sometime at interval, I'm gonna ask you to put it on. Maybe when you can find somewhere to just park on the side of
I
it.
know.
Yeah,
I know.
but in
Yeah,
the meantime, it's fine to have it
yeah.
on. Thank you.
Yeah. So I cannot because
Thank you.
once my daughter said, "Mom, the police will follow you."
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, yeah,
We have to be
yeah.
careful.
You
Yeah,
all okay?
yeah. Good. Your day's been good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Awesome. Good.
Busy.
I know.
I'm sure you
I,
are also the
you
same.
can say that again. Yes, busy.
Yeah.
But we're grateful to God for life. We're here. We're
Uh-huh.
good. So we must soldier on, you know, empowering, educating, and supporting women. But quickly, before we jump into the topic of the day, I just wanted to
Uh-huh.
share some of the thoughts that I was having today, because honestly, for me, that's my basis. That's the backbone of what everything else is built on. So today I wanted to bring to us a scripture that I was engaging today, because As a believer, I'm learning that it's the word of God that I engage in, that I am able to benefit from, so I'm intentionally engaging God's word because it's the truth, and if it's got everything that I need there, I just need to search it out, so today I was meditating on Isaiah 26:3, that says you who keeps you will keep it. That's referring to God. You will keep in perfect peace all who trust in you, all those whose thoughts are fixed on you. And I especially like the Message translation. It says, "Depend on God and keep at it." So people whose mind are set
Hello?
on you, you keep
Yeah.
them completely whole. Yeah, I'm here. That Message
Yeah.
translation says, "People whose mind are set on you, you keep completely whole, steady on their feet because they keep at it and don't quit." And honestly, this morning as I was engaging that word and some of the things actually that I've been worried about prior in the week, and that began to change my perspective, around what my mindset, what I should keep my mind on and my mindset. And as soon as I started, looking away onto, not focusing on those things that I thought was such a big deal, or how am I going to overcome it? And then I realized that I was focusing more on the word of God and the truth in it and how that can benefit my life. And I started seeing that actually, because I wasn't focusing so much on it anymore, the solution that I needed for what I was actually thinking was a big deal started coming to me somehow. And I was like, oh, interesting, actually I can do this to try and get to that. And 3-4 hours later, and I was like, oh
No,
God, I have
it's fine.
options.
It's fine. It's just
Yeah.
some area, a little area, there was no Wi-Fi. That's why.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
And I realized, oh God, if truly, as
No,
the
no,
word of God says, if
no.
He will keep in perfect peace all who trust in Him, and those whose mind, thoughts are fixed on Him. And honestly, I just wanted to encourage us that
Yeah.
no matter what, keep your thoughts, keep your mind on Him. He's a good God and He's faithful. He's faithful. He's a good Father. I just wanted to share that with us today before we jump into that which we're talking about today. Today we're talking about fibroids and lifestyle. So before we go into some of the questions, Miss Omar,
Yeah.
I wanted you to go through some of the different types of, because there's been some kind of engagement in our hub,
Yeah.
around someone who just recently had surgery and whatnot. Tell us, I know it will be like a refresher course, a
Yeah.
reminder, but tell us
Yeah. Yeah.
some of the different types of fibroids,
Yeah.
where we find them in
Uh-huh.
the woman, around the
Uh-huh.
woman, uterus or
Uh-huh.
in, or wherever
Uh-huh.
they are,
Uh-huh.
and the possible solution from your perspective to help
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
alleviate the symptoms of those kind of fibroids.
Yeah. Yeah. So, the uterus or the womb, we call it in a lay medicine, uterus is form of the body,
Mm-hmm.
and on the neck of the womb, which is the cervix, and also it has two wings, which is on the top of it is a tubes and ovary, and is the bottom of it is come through the vagina.
Mm-hmm.
So the fibroid can happen in any part of it as far as it is growing from the muscle, because
Okay.
from the fibrous tissue and the muscle. But
Mm.
some of the fibroids, it is inside the room of the womb, which were
Mm-hmm.
in a medical word is called submucous fibroid. And
Submucus. So
submucous
hold on.
fibroid, yeah,
Mm-hmm. Submucus is found. Did you say it's found in the womb?
it is
I just.
inside the womb, which is attached to the inside.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, if you imagine a room,
Mm-hmm.
you're sitting inside the room. That is where they call it submucous
Submucus.
fibroid. Yeah,
Okay. I
and this
just.
submucous fibroid, like
Mm-hmm.
a mucosa, like any mucus in the body,
Mm-hmm.
so the layer which is just inside the room of the womb, it's called mucus. Submucus, it means just attached to. That is one of the type, but we never have very, very rarely we have a fibroid. It's only one type.
Right.
So,
okay.
yes, it always have some connection with the other one. So submucous fibroid, often it enlarge, and sometimes they are on the pedicle, which can come even through the cervix. It dilates the neck of the womb and come through it, and often being mixed up with the cancer, because there is some necrotic large mass coming through the neck of the womb. They think it is a cancer, but most of the time it is a submucous fibroid, which finds its way, and the pedicle of it, like a stick on the top, it is attached to the wall of the womb.
Right. That's
Really cause very heavy bleeding, can cause infertility. It's like a foreign body sitting in the cavity of the womb or in the room of the womb. Can also cause miscarriage, can cause also the baby premature delivery, can also cause abnormal life of the baby.
This is submucous one, yes?
It sometimes can be very small, can be very big. And because the cavity, it is around 7 centimeter, I have seen around 6 to 5 centimeter fibroid. So it is like occupying all the inside of the womb. So can cause a lot of heavy bleeding and can interfere with the fertility also.
Okay, so far you've been talking about the submucous one, yes?
Yeah, this is a submucous fibroid. Then we have another type which is called intramural. Intramural, it means inside the wall of the womb. Inside the wall of the womb.
The wall of the womb.
And it's called intramural fibroid. It is inside the wall of the womb, can be any different size also, can cause enlargement of the womb, can cause a lot of pressure on the bladder and the bowel. It is large. Sometimes it is very small. A lot of patients come to me, they have 1 centimeter or 2 centimeter. I tell them that is nothing.
Okay.
But sometimes can be 10 centimeter, can be 5 centimeter. And depends on the position, whether it is in the front, it affects the bladder. If it is in the back, it affects the bowel. If it is on the if it is on the top of the womb, it affects like pushing the bowel up and cause a lot of frequency, urgency, and it sometimes can interfere with fertility, but it causes heavy bleeding also. Pressure, heavy bleeding, but I have seen people, they get pregnant very well with that type. But sometimes can be mixed up with the submucous also. They have 2 types, like intramural and submucous, connecting to each other. That one is interfere with the fertility. But always cause heavy bleeding, heaviness, frequency of micturition, bowel symptoms. So this is intramural. Okay. Then we have subserous. Subserous, it means on the ceiling. Is like sitting on the top of the ceiling, but can be also have a broad base.
So
or
be
have
outside the womb or inside or on the
No, it is outside the womb.
On the top.
It is on the top or in the back or in the front, but it is outside the womb. And can be, it is sitting on a broad base or can be sitting on a stick. So this one doesn't cause infertility, doesn't cause heavy bleeding, but it causes a lot of pressure, whether in the bladder or the bowel. It does cause, and also the women usually feel them in the morning, especially in thin women, when their bladder is full, push the womb and the fibroid up, and they say, oh, I felt the lump in the morning. By standing up, it's a bit smaller, but I can feel it.
So that is
a subserous one.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's interesting, and because honestly, I'm asking Dr.
Mm,
Omar to talk about this today,
mm,
so it's useful to know to identify which ones we're dealing with. And this one that you just mentioned
uh-huh.
is that in any way anyone who's got this, are they able to carry pregnancy
Yeah,
okay?
yeah, yeah. The only problem with the pregnancy, it feeds the fibroid and increase
It
in
makes it
size.
bigger. Mm-hmm,
That is
mm-hmm.
the only
Okay.
problem. Increase in size, and sometimes the size is become too big, where the feeding is not enough. Then it causes pain,
Mm.
and the pain can be manageable. I have taken a football size from the patient, and the baby was surviving at 36 weeks and healthy and well.
Oh wow,
So
awesome.
yeah, well,
Thank-
it was, to be honest, it was even larger than the football size. I admit, it was a size. It was half the size of the baby.
Wow,
Yeah,
amazing. Oh wow.
exactly half the size of the
You,
baby, but
you can
still
imagine how big
survived.
that pregnancy must have been.
Yeah, it was half of the baby,
Mm.
and also sitting on the top of the womb.
We lost you there, Miss Omar. Can you hear us,
Mm.
Miss Omar?
Yes, yeah, I can hear
No.
you.
Okay, we couldn't hear you for a
Yeah,
moment.
sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
so the one which is subserous or sitting on the ceiling
mhm.
is more or less not interfere with the pregnancy. Only pressure symptom, increase in size during the pregnancy, can cause pain also during pregnancy. The fear of it can cause premature delivery. But not
So,
everyone, and a lot of people, they had the same thing and they had a delivery.
right, okay. So I wanted to just clarify. Are you there? You're breaking out, Miss Omar. Did you want to pack for a bit and see if we can hear you? You're gone completely now. I can't hear you.
Yeah,
You know, is it? Hello?
yeah, yeah. I am with you. Don't worry.
Yeah, but I couldn't hear you. So I
Mm,
was just going to say, so the sub-serous one is you were able to conceive and
mm.
actually carry pregnancy. That wouldn't cause miscarriages.
No, no, no. It doesn't cause miscarriages. Most of
Okay.
the time can cause preterm labor, premature delivery because of the pain or because of you have to take the baby out because it's growing quite
Quickly.
quickly. Mm,
And that's really useful, and thank you for that. It's really I think it's really important and useful to know which ones of this fibroid that we're dealing with, so we know how to manage.
mm,
And then we
yeah.
also know that, okay, this might be
Mm,
my options because this is the one I'm dealing with, and then we better know how to deal with stuff.
yeah.
Because I
Yeah.
mean, personally, I didn't have this knowledge when I was going through, and I
Mm,
thank God that I have a testimonial of fibroid.
mm,
God is good, but because I didn't have this kind of knowledge, I didn't know what I was dealing with. I had a number of miscarriages. But now in retrospect, if one knows which ones you're dealing with, you're better able to manage, your
mm,
situation. And also
yeah.
the other thing I wanted to ask you quickly
Mm,
is, can a woman have all three?
yes. And then that is the main
Yeah.
problem. The main problem is rarely come in one. Rarely, very rarely come in one and in one side. Most of the time, the women have different type, numbers is different. I have taken 5 and I have taken 95 away.
Not 95.
Yeah, and 145 also.
Jesus. From one
Yeah,
woman.
from one uterus.
Well, yeah, one uterus, one woman, one uterus. How long was that's just wrong. That's just wrong. That's just wrong. Anyway, I'm mindful of the
So
time.
that is the main problem, because if it comes to one of them,
Mr. Ma, we can't hear you again. Do you think you can pull over so we can even see your face so people can know that we're actually talking to someone, not it's not AI. We can't hear you, Miss Omar. We can't hear you. Anyway, while we're waiting for Miss Omar to reconnect, I think she's just driving through area of bad reception or signal, and now she's gone. It's just interesting, to know this various types, and like we all heard that one uterus can have all three. So is interesting, and this is where the lifestyle bit comes in, because honestly, even when you have this knowledge and you're like, okay, if maybe you're dealing with two or one of them or all three, oh my God, so it is a matter of you're being affected by so many things if it's all three that you have. And then honestly, my own other bailout or way out is lifestyle, and I'm excited. I see that Dr. Kene is here, but in July sometime, Dr. Kene is going to come and share. She was with us during the May event for young people, but she's going to come back and tell us more about her fibroid journey, the things that she's had to do with lifestyle change and discovery of what's working, honestly, using food and lifestyle. So I am really, really looking forward to that IG Life with Dr. Kene. But in the meantime, while I'm waiting for Dr. Omar, I just wanted to tell you, people, anyone who's new here, who we are. We're the Feminine Health and Fiber Support Network. We're a support group, and we offer and encourage conversations just like this one to proffer solution, looking into feminine health issues, fibroids, endometriosis, myomectomy, people having hysterectomy. A lady recently, in our hub, someone just had hysterectomy recently. I even thought she had myomectomy, but she said it was hysterectomy. I was like, oh my God, she needs extra support. I had that, and I can tell you that was a challenging time. So my heart goes out to anyone who does that surgery. Understand? My heart really, really usually will go out, and I reach out to say, any way I can help, I want to help, because I know what it feels like to have to go through that pain. But the thing is, now we don't have to if we don't wait until it's critical. There are other options. There are other things that we can do, before we get to that very critical and emergency state. But it's just knowing what to do, getting in community and conversations like this, where people are talking, people are sharing their experience, their knowledge, and what it is that they've had to go through. And that FHF Hub has been useful, honestly, in sharing knowledge and information, and some of the seminars that we have. Also, I'm excited in September, we're going to have this brunch face-to-face webinar where all we're having is awesome, good tasting, healthy food. We're bringing an amazing chef. She's going to be cooking all the lovely, nice food for us. You should join us if you are in the UK, if you're around in September. I think it's 23rd of September. It will be. We'll share more on that, in July. But honestly, I'm looking forward to that as well. I'm trying to get Miss Soma to come back. I'm trying to see if she's back in, so that I don't bore you with. But honestly, it's a beautiful thing. It is awesome to be able to support each other on this journey, especially feminine health issues, and some of us are not going through menopause, but some of us are. And that's another topic that's close to my heart. But in this next month of July, it is it is Fibroids Awareness Month, and we're going to be doing a lot of talking about fibroids. Dr. Omar is going to come. I'm hoping that also Dr. At least somebody can come and talk about, he's passionate as well in helping women and talking about fibroids. And also we're going to have Dr. Kenneth come and tell us some of the experiments she's been doing, successful experiments that's been working, you know, with food and lifestyle. Okay, Miss Uma's back now. Bear with me. I'm trying to add Miss Uma. Yeah, so while we wait for Ms. Uma to join, our goal is to create an environment to educate, support, empower,
Hello?
and address biases that women go through.
Hello?
Hello?
Hello, do you hear me?
We can hear you now loud and clear.
Sorry, cut off again. That's why. I'm so sorry.
All right. So,
Yeah, I found the hard shoulder to stop in again. Yeah.
okay. Yeah.
Okay.
So I was
All right. Yeah.
asking, you know, about
Uh-huh.
if a woman can have all three, and you were saying yes, you know, before you went
Yeah,
off.
can have all three, and most of the time they have all.
You've gone off again. Sorry about this.
Yeah, most of the time they have all three. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So, all right. So, a mindful of the time, I'm going to try and go through some of the questions. I had a question in my head just before you went over, but I can't remember if it left me.
Yeah.
But hopefully,
Sorry.
yeah, hopefully you will come back to me. I did ask you the question about this serious one, not causing miscarriage. So, which one is likely to cause you miscarriage?
Submucous one. The one is sitting in the room of the uterus because it's like a foreign body. It's get bigger with the pregnancy, and then space taking, and also the placenta may attach to it, which is not very good for feeding the baby.
Right. So
yeah.
So that submucous one, in your opinion, what's a good way to manage that? You know, knowing that. So
The good way to manage that, they call it resection. We shaving it out through the hysteroscopic surgery, through the keyhole, and the keyhole, it goes through the vagina, through the cervix, and then we have a machine. There are two types of machine can shave it out, and sometimes we can shave it out within one session, and sometimes we bring the patient back for second session because we don't want to damage the line of the womb.
I was just going to ask that. When you shave the lining of the womb, isn't that dangerous because you're reducing the quality?
We're not shaving the line of the womb. We're shaving the fibroid, which is stretch the line excessively. So the line of the womb will regrow again over it.
That's
yeah. And a lot of people, they have a successful pregnancy after.
After that. Okay. That's interesting. So in a case where you have all three, how do you, so that means you're going to be having all of these symptoms, you know, that is associated with all three types of fibroids.
In the wall of the one on the top, but you have one inside.
You're gone off again, Miss Oma. She's gone off again. I was just trying to ask her, you know, for a woman who might have all three, you know, how best to manage that. How do you manage that? I mean, I don't, because if you already have the submucous one, which is the one that's inside the womb, you know, everyone just throws surgery at you. And I am now, with what I know that surgery, having myomectomy or hysterectomy is usually not the only options. Is especially hysterectomy, is the very last option. You know, so I am all for, we must explore these options, you know, and we don't leave it till late. We don't as soon as we know that we have this thing, we're watching, first of all, our diet, our lifestyle, our diet has to change, because I tell people, when you even have myomectomy, is a temporary fix. Because if you're, after that myomectomy, they can bring out how many, whatever they can bring out, and you go back to same old, fibroids are coming back. So the only way to minimize that is just lifestyle change, eating differently, knowing what to eat, knowing what's good, knowing what triggers getting the fibroids bigger. So lifestyle change, food. Now that I know, but I didn't know then, and I love food. I like food a lot. but honestly now, you have to be more intentional and disciplined. I'm trying to see if Miss Omar can come back, because I do have a few questions from people in the hub that I wanted to ask her. It's 1:30 now. Someone recently who's had surgery in the hub. We bless God for successful surgery that she's had. But and which is why honestly today we're talking more about some of these types of fibers, because she only realized later on that she had the submucosal one, and she's had to have hysterectomy. But how did he have to? Why did he have to get to that? How early can we pick up some of these things and begin to know that, okay, if I'm having these symptoms, maybe I need to get checked out. I need to look at booking an appointment to see, what's going on. So I just wanted to, I don't know now, Mr. Maha isn't coming back. I'm sure it's the drive. I am so tempted to bring Dr. Ekene in, but that will be unfair to put on the spot. I'm going to see if any other doctor that we have in the house is here. But if anyone wanted to join me, actually, let's do that. Let's restart. Since Miss Omar is not coming. Well, I don't know. I'm sure she's having issues because I love her commitment. I love her heart, to FHF Support Network. She will do anything. So I know that she must not be in a good position, is why she's not here. And she was driving. So if anyone wants to join me, if you have a fibroid testimonial or something you wanted to share that you think will benefit people, if you wanted to wave at me and say request to join, and then you can join me and we can have a bit of question and sharing your testimonial. But in the meantime, if Dr. Kene or anyone who's there, you can type. You don't have to. Oh, someone's requested to join me. Oh, Dr. Khazal is back. I was going to say, when I ask the questions, doctors are online can just type you in the chat box to help women.
Sorry about this. Really, really sorry.
I know, Mr. Sorry, I know you're driving. Are you parked or something?
No, I usually park and then start again. Don't worry about it. Yeah. So we were in the point where if we all together be there are a lot of time all together, all of them be there, but also it depends on the numbers. If the numbers are many or it is little, and also we are only talking about the fertility side. The other side is heavy bleeding. If it is too many, it increases the cavity size, it increases the surface size, and also increase the heavy bleeding, and also the muscle of the uterus is not able to contract properly to squeeze the blood vessel during the period time. So the heavy bleeding, painful bleeding, because these muscles cause congestion, and in addition to fertility side and the pressure side. So these are all the main problem when the fibroid make.
Right.
Yeah.
Interesting. So what crossed my mind as you were speaking now, so in a case where it's got all three, how do you to kind of prioritize the management to say,
The
okay.
management is according to the age, according to the fertility,
Mm-hmm.
and according to the severity of the condition and the size of the fibroid. If for example, the woman is young and have no children, her main concern is the fertility. The one which is submucous, we resect it, we shave it out.
Okay.
And hopefully they get pregnant and no problem.
Right.
If they have many of them, as I said before, there is a tablet which is called Ryco, REYQO. These are the tablets which make reduce the size of the fibroid to half in 1 year. And we're hoping that the women get pregnant after. But it has a side effect like headache, hot flush, sweatiness, like menopausal symptoms.
I was gonna go there, Mr. Ma. So
It has quite side effects.
So
Yeah.
when I was going through this, I didn't even know what I had. I just knew that bleeding wasn't stopping. I was just living with a nightmare.
Yeah.
But now in retrospect, it looks like I had all three, you know. But having said that, so I got prescribed something that was supposed to really help with bleeding, and that wasn't working. And then after I got given something else to help
help
shrink the fibroids.
There's a Zoladex also.
I can't remember.
Zoladex, is the injection. And also there was another tablet which is now stopped because it caused liver damage.
Wow. Okay.
Eurostop. Yeah.
I just wanted to share my own experience. So when after the other one didn't work to stop the bleeding, then I was prescribed one to try and shrink, some of the fibroids, and I eventually landed in the hospital because I was having severe migraine. I was going crazy, and I had to do lumbar puncture and all kind of things to reduce pressure. So that side effect, honestly, and this is some of the, because of the side effects of some of this medication, is why I'm advocating, lifestyle change, but I didn't know. But that was not a good thing. I was in the hospital, and in between, eventually, I had to do what was that thing that was done for the liver, because I don't even know what was going on, because something else was picked. And what was that procedure again, that where you just nip the vessel that supplies blood,
You mean the vessel for the angiogram?
No, it's not angiogram. I can't remember it.
Embolization.
Thank you.
Embolization.
That one. So I had to have an embolization, and all of them, like, all because of all of this medication. And until I met you, I'm like, what, I've had enough of this nightmare and everything. But I'm grateful to God for life and for where I'm at. So I'm going to try and ask some of the women's questions quickly so we can get through this, but we run out of time. So I think the first question that was asking about submucosal fibroids specifically, and you've also talked about the management of. Okay, so management of so you talked about the management of submucosal
mucus.
So
like
that
mucosa.
Enhanced conception, that's everything that you talked about, isn't it?
And
also, so it looks like you've touched most of the questions. And there was a question about, can conception take place with mucous fibroids?
Yes, but can be, luckily everything is going all right, but there is a high chance of miscarriage, as well as because the area is not confident enough to take the baby and implantation of the placenta, so can be miscarriage, can be preterm delivery. So that's a problem. That's a problem with a large one. Maybe lucky with a small one can have a chance, but not with a large one. Not with a large one. Because it's like foreign body. The idea of the contraception of the coil, where it's come from. It's come from the they put a stone in the uterus of the camel, and they found out it work as a contraception for the camel in the desert. And that is the idea come how you put something inside the uterus to make it people not to be pregnant. So the submucous fibroid is like a foreign body, is play a part to avoid conception also. It's like a coil
Yeah,
inside.
yeah.
That is,
I do
yeah.
agree from personal experience as well, because even though you might be able to conceive, it also just reduces the chances of keeping that pregnancy, because
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
and honestly, you win some, you lose some, which is exactly what happened to me. You know, I had a number of miscarriages, but I'm grateful to God that I have children, even with the fibroids and all of that. But I did have really, but one was really advanced in age, the pregnancy when I had the miscarriage. So that, I guess that's the downside
That
of.
was also sometimes the intramural one also bulge inside and change the shape, and also cause again the miscarriage or infertility also. Sometimes the one in the wall is so big enough, it just bulge inside the womb. It does look like submucous, but 3/4 or 90% of it is inside the wall and cause a problem again with the fertility.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Okay. And then also someone wanted to know what contraception is the best to use with fibroids and after a mastectomy. As
After myectomy, I think it's the best thing not to use any hormone, because any hormone can increase the chance of things grow up again. So if the man can be able to put to use a condom or the coil or just a normal coil, if they already the hormones are not good, the normal coil, the non-hormonal.
so your advice is condom or non-hormonal.
Yeah, non-hormonal, because any hormone can induce fibroid formation again.
Right. So, I mean, and this is also in line with something that I was saying earlier, that even my myectomy is a temporary fix, because like after my myectomy, lifestyle has to change. The kind of food that you eat, the things that will trigger fibroids, you know, you need to know and just eliminate that as much as possible from your diet, isn't it? Also, someone's asked any recommended natural remedies or alternative therapies recommended before or after my myectomy. I don't know if that's the question for you, but we'll leave that out. We'll ask in our next session someone who can help with that for alternative therapies. So this one says she has submucosal fibroid and it comes out of her uterus 7 days to her period. She said it's bulky and outside. Should she be worried? I don't understand that question, but so it looks like someone who's got submucosal fibroids, and it comes out of their uterus 7 days to their period. Is that? Oh, she's gone. I was intensely reading that question. I didn't see that she was gone. So it'll be interesting for her to answer that question. I don't know if I guess the blood cloth that you have, the heavy bleeding during period for fibroids, maybe that's what she's talking about. But it'd be useful for a doctor to be able to explain that a bit more. It's interesting. So while we're waiting for Dr. Omar again, or if anybody, the doctors on there know what the answer is, please type it on in there, and then we can share with the lady, or we can tell everyone as well. I'm sure people want to know, you know, if your the submucosal fiber comes out of your uterus before your period. And so I was saying earlier on that our goal is to create an environment like this, you know, to educate women, support women, empower, nurture, and address biases that women go through regarding feminine health. And then the place like our hub where women can actually speak up and don't feel ashamed, because it's all right to have feminine health issues if you do have them, and it's important to talk about them, because it's only in sharing or talking about it that you will know that you're not in it alone. Someone else might be going through it, or even worse, and then that's also when you can find out that, oh, actually this is how someone else is dealing with that, and then you can also get a bit of information, education, you know, um, to be able to manage your journey. Someone's asking, did you have surgery to remove yours? No, I didn't have a planned surgery. So after I think I had 2 miscarriages initially, so I had a planned myomectomy. But as I was doing the checks and the assessment to be admitted in hospital for my surgery, I found that I was pregnant. And and that pregnancy is my daughter. So I'm grateful to God for that. And then I had I think 2 more or so, 3 miscarriages in between, and then I had my son. And after my son, anyway, I didn't want to try again, so I was done. I was done. But because I've always known about my fibroids, even though I didn't know which ones I had and what all of those details. Well, I knew I had fibroids, but I wasn't also doing any healthy lifestyle or lifestyle change. I was just living my normal life, eating my normal food that I was eating, because I wasn't informed. I wasn't educated about food and lifestyle and all of that. I was just doing everyday normal food. And then it was one of the times when I was trying to change lifestyle, because sometimes you want to do a good thing, but if you're not educated, you can do bad trying to do good. So I wanted to start a healthy lifestyle, and I thought, oh, you know what? I tasted all the different plant milk. I tried almond, I tried soya, and I tried, I think, oats at that time. And I prefer the soya one out of it all. So that's how I started drinking soya milk. And I was not anymore. I was a heavy coffee drinker. I could have coffee 3 times in a day, and all of that. And every time I had it, plus, let's not even now. When I look back, even though the soya milk was making it worse, I also had a very stressful job in the city, and that was crazy. So stress also affects fibroid growth a lot, even more than we know. So it was when I was stressed at work and also thinking I was living a healthy lifestyle, I started taking soya milk. But I didn't know at that time that soya milk or soy product is a no-no for anyone who's got fibroids. You must find alternatives, honestly. Anyway, I just found out I was bleeding. So my 5-day period went to 7 days, it went to 10 days, and it went to 20 days of bleeding, and then it went to non-stopping. I was just bleeding. I would be in the hospital back and forth, having blood transfusion. And after a while, after I had a blood transfusion for a while, I was still, look, if you don't do something about this, your body will start reject your red blood cells will not produce enough that you need anymore, even though I don't even have, I was losing all the one that I had. But because I was also infusing myself with blood, my body was going to get used to something else extra coming in, so it will not produce enough, so I was in a dilemma. Anyway, long story short, after almost 2 years of bleeding non-stop, no quality lifestyle, I thought, you know what, this can't be right. God is a good God. I can't be subjected to this. So I opted for a hysterectomy. But the truth is, all that while from the time I knew early that I had fibroid and the time of some of my miscarriages, even up to the time I had my son, I could have done something differently if I knew. I could have maybe started a different way of eating, to help my journey. And I don't think I would have. I remember that I always knew, so I was managing it. So the stress from work plus soya milk was the trigger agent, and it just went off the roof, and at that point it was emergency situation. It was nothing could stop the bleeding. I tried different medications. They gave me different combinations of all of this medication, and then he had other side effects. In fact, the last one was that migraine one. I was always in the hospital. My head was going to be off my neck, and it was horrible, horrible, horrible. And caused many other things, that I didn't even have before. I knew that I had or could have. So yeah. It's I'm just an advocate for, before it's too late, before you get to a dire situation, there are other options. Let's explore them. Let's look for them. So, and it's only in forums, having conversation, joining people. And thank God, unlike when not back in days, not too long ago, maybe this was 5 years ago, there was not a lot of people talking about these things, because this is what birthed even this forum. I went to see Miss Soma for after surgery care, and we started talking about, nobody's talking about these things, because after the 3 months or something, I went to church and I spoke to a few people, and I realized other people are going through. I'm like, why is nobody talking? So, but now it's amazing. People are talking about it. More people are talking about it, and that's useful. Get informed, get educated. There's so many resources out there. Don't use Google by itself. Google by itself can drive you nuts. So don't use Google but there are so many resources. British Fibre Trust, NHS website is also useful. There's London Gynaecologist Group Forum. The Maya Clinic, sometimes I've always used that, even though it's online, but it's helpful. But having different resources to then check information against each other is a useful thing to do, And honestly, there are various fiber advocacy, online advocacy group. People are talking more about it now. People are engaging, and educating people and speaking up about their own journey and situation. And honestly, we need to get involved, because it's only that way that we can create awareness. We can help the next woman and the next woman. And also for me, importantly, is helping the next generation, because I have a teenage daughter. I don't want to ever have her go through the things that I went through, So it's speaking up, helping each other. If you have information I think is useful, help another woman, help a cohort of women, provide information, support people. It's really important. You underestimate, some of these surgeries as people are, or even just the mental health when people are going through these things, reaching out to somebody, just checking. I mean, you might not even be able to do anything, just checking that they're okay, and just a phone call, thinking about you, or just a little line, one text line to say, how are you doing? Sometimes it goes a long way for people. So honestly, let's engage, let's talk about it, let's create awareness, let's help each other, support each other, regarding feminine health, fibroids, and all other feminine health, really, because some people don't have fibroids, luckily. But some people have other things. Well, some people don't have anything, so honestly, and that's why we're here. That's why we're here. Any way that we can help, we want to help, we want to support, whatever information, a dear mentor marriage out to me. I found that even it goes beyond family health. Some of this now, sometimes I'm looking into other things that, okay, so what can you do to help this kind of other ailment, this kind of other thing, and just help asking questions, because honestly, it's in asking questions that you start to gather knowledge and you start to piece things together, So, yeah. Thank you, everyone who's joined us today. We are grateful. We're thankful. And so in July, we're going to be doing, having more times like this. Dr. Kene is going to be joining us, and the last Friday, I think, in July. And then a number of gynecologists as well will talk to us in the second Thursday in July. Let's come, let's learn, you know, and in Africa as well, in Nigeria, we're reaching out to schools, you know, to young girls, secondary school, young people, to just educate them, you know, give information. You know, we did online one in May, but we want to do face to face, where in the less privileged areas where people normally will not go, you know, so where all of that's happening in July, you know, and in September, I'm looking forward to that brunch. Trust me, September, I think the 23rd is going to be. So we're going to have this nice, lovely, healthy brunch, food that you can't imagine that they're healthy, but they are. You know, so it'll be good. We'll talk more about it in July and just bring people in. Did I say that was in July? That's in September. Sorry. Yeah. So yeah, that's it. Is a wrap. And thank you everyone who's joined today. I hope you've learned something and taken away something. If there's a way that we can help, please reach out. Follow us on the Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. What's that other one? There's other one that young people do that my daughter looks out for me. You know, but honestly, let's help each other, support one another. Let's not be lonely in this journey. Thank you very much. I hope this has been useful. Do have a lovely, lovely evening. God bless everyone. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, everyone who's joined us today and everyone who will be listening after the live. Thank you. We're grateful that you could join us. Thank you, everyone. Awesome. Awesome. We hope you've taken away something today that's useful, that's helpful for you or for someone else that you might know. God bless you and have a lovely, lovely evening. Thank you.